Alright, here we are on route... I don't know what route it is. I tend to forget stuff like that. Anyway... Oh, well, here's Cheren, right. Again, all these random rival battles tend to make me forget that they happen. I don't know, does he have another... Yeah, he does. He's got one more person, a part of his team. Or person, I should say, Pokemon. Way out front. Oh. Yeah, that's not good. See, I completely forgot about that. Kind of figure it's better at... Wait, what am I doing? That's the only move I could realistically do to do a decent amount of damage. Might as well make use of that Panzer. Incinerate is my best bet. Plus, I think his Snivy always has a berry on it, or whatever evolution it is. He'll always put a berry on it. See, I burnt up his orange berry, so I don't have to worry about that. So Incinerate can be useful in that regard. At least he's paralyzed now. And again, I don't want Panzer to get any experience points, so I'm just gonna try and delay this until I get knocked out. And of course he gets paralyzed, like, when I don't want him to. You want him to get paralyzed, it doesn't happen. Please take me out at this point. Well, at least come close to it. Alright, one hit should be done, and maybe we can switch back in. Oh, going to wrap. Oh, it's enough to kill me. I still don't have another official member of my team yet. I just rather not have experience points go to Pokemon I'm not gonna use. Ooh, Razor Shell. Alright, that's had the possibility of lowering defense, so I'll get rid of Focus Energy since I don't use it anyhow. Alright, he's got Purloin. Did he have that last time? I don't even remember. Might as well make use of Razor Shell Assist. Possibility he could have ended up using Vine Whip. That was a one-hit shot. Oh yeah, his whole thing is we have the same number of badges, so therefore we're equal in strength. Oh, he's evolving finally. What was it, level 17? I wasn't paying attention to the level. What's odd about this generation starters, they evolve a lot later than previous starters for the most part. A lot of starters tend to evolve at like 14, some maybe take longer, maybe like 18, but like all of them like evolve at 17 or something. So there are a lot of evolutions in this game, in this generation, that evolve, have way late evolutions. Like some evolve at 64 or 59, stuff like that. What's the name of that dark dragon type? Two-headed thing. His final evolution is like 64 or something. Oh yeah! This is going on. Team Plasma. Whoops. It's kind of sad you gotta steal Pokemon from a little girl. I was confused about the whole stealing Pokemon. Like, do they just fight the trainer and then just grab it? Grab their Pokeball? I'm a little curious about that. Or at least how that works anyhow. Alright, they won't let you go down there anyway. So it's not like you can just run off. There's an item, like, way over here. Oh, and this girl stops me. Is that a breeder, I think? Yep. Interesting thing about breeders in Black and White 2 is you can fight them over and over. Like, really, you can just... And not like once a day, you can just go inside a building or a different area, then come back, and they'll want to fight you again. Like, as in, you walk past them, and they stop you, which is kind of weird, good in a way. It just caught me off guard. The first time it happened, I'm thinking, is this a glitch? I'm like, oh no. This is just with Pokemon breeders, they do that. I don't know. I guess it's making up for the fact that so far I haven't found a lucky egg, because, you know, later on you get a lucky egg, so... And that doubles your... Well, yeah, does it double experience points? Or increases the amount of experience points you get. And I don't think you get it in Black and White 2. At least not in-game, I'm not sure. At least I haven't gotten that far yet. Actually, I'm in Mastralton City, or however you say that. P-Dub, this generation's normal flying type. It's okay, I guess, but... Alright, now I need to just get this item I was going for. Alright. And trainers give you stuff in this game. At least some of them do. Like, I think the rangers, breeders, a lot of times it's just the berries, for the most part. Alright, you're standing here waiting on me, okay. Of course, you take one step. And here are these rock and rollers, which are kind of annoying to fight in the wild because they have sturdy, so you have to use like 2 hits to take them out. So half the time I just end up running from them, because sometimes you don't want to take unnecessary damage. I figure I'll just catch it anyway, because at this point I was debating on whether to use one or not. I was figuring, hey, it's at 1 HP, might as well try and catch it. Of course, it does make it easier to catch, I guess, in that sense. It took me a while to actually realize its name, Rock'n'Rolla. I guess it's kind of supposed to be like a pun on the word rock and roll or something. So they ran into a cave basically where they can't get out. I can listen to that all day. Yep, getting used to seeing Patrats and Watchdogs and... what else do they have? I think they've got Purloins, possibly Woobats. You kinda like a Team Rocket, all they had was Zubats and Rattatas and stuff like that. we have right on our side. Yeah. What were they doing? Just hanging in the back? Most of the Pokemon team, or evil Pokemon team members, always act self-righteous. Oh, I think Team Plasma tends to be the most self-righteous. Team Aqua and Magma could also be thrown in there as far as self-righteous goes. Ha! My stars evolved and yours isn't. Is that enough to be? Yep. Dead. That should do it. Pending I didn't miss. Man, I already hit another level? Well, that's what you get for picking on kids. Because in the Pokemon world, kids are just unstoppable juggernauts. Or at least the protagonist is. Yeah. I forget who it is, but somebody points out that in the game, somebody says that Team Plasma, they use Pokemon too, and for them to, you know, say that Pokemon trainers like ourselves are horrible is like, you know, making them hypocrites. Yeah, now that he's done, why couldn't he take it back? Or, wait, I think he does. I don't pay attention to half the time to what Cheren says. Kind of a dull person. And Woobats, which are kind of meh. I looked at their stats, just there's not much to them except maybe special defense, possibly. I don't remember. Said I couldn't escape, so I'm assuming we're at like at the same speed or something, because I went first that last time. Yeah, that's done. And I'm gonna get out of here. Because I spent, oh, like 4 minutes searching for something. And I decided to get out and just go ahead and give her Pokemon back. Get that part done with. I'm waiting for a dust cloud to pop up, is what I was looking for. Of course, you know, it took forever. Okay, where are her parents? Huh. Oh, you're not one of those school kids. Uh-huh. School kid Al? Ah, Blitzel. Kinda lackluster, I suppose. Yeah, I guess in terms of learned moves. But I guess it's alright. I did use one once. Plus, it's like the only electric type you're gonna find for a good while, anyway. Just thinking off the top of my head. Probably not until Chargestone Cave. No, wait, maybe I take that back. There's, what's that thing? Emolga, however you say it. It's like Pachirisu with wings. At least it looks like it. Yeah, half the time I expect another battle to pop up anytime I see my rivals. Yeah, in that grass, sometimes you have the possibility of 2 Pokemon popping up. Oh yeah, I was in here like a good 10-15 minutes trying to find a dust cloud, and it finally shows up. I put on the repel just so I won't get interrupted by another wild battle, because if that happens, then the dust cloud disappears. Of course, the game trolls me, and instead it's like a poison gem. You have a chance of finding an item or a Pokemon that wouldn't appear otherwise. So I'm just kind of running around, and thankfully another one shows up like 10 seconds later. And it's actually what I'm looking for. I was looking for a freaking Drillbur. I don't want to do that, so go with something that possibly won't kill it. It's kind of redundant, you're a ground type. I think Lick would probably be best. Possibly paralyze it. I hope. When does Drillbur evolve? I think it's in the 30s areas, possibly. I have to look at it. But even if it's pre-evolution form, it's still got decent attack and decent speed. It's faster than you would think a mole would be. Alright, there's always that possibility of an untimely critical hit happening. Yeah, one more. Should at least be kind of close. Yeah, I'm not risking it now. Who knows how long it would take to find another dust cloud. Of course, if I wasn't looking for one, you know, the dust clouds would be popping up all over the place. Ew. Eh. Since I already broke out of that first one. Thank you. You can dig through the ground at speed of 30 miles per hour. Oh, you give a car running above ground a good race. Okay, well, 30 miles per hour isn't particularly fast. I mean, at least in terms of, like, against a car. Now, digging on the ground at 30 miles per hour, that's fast. I could not think of a nickname, or at least a decent one. So, I was trying to think of something like... It's very unoriginal. I just decided to go with... I'm looking for the space bar, and then I realized, oh, I just hit a blank spot. I decided to just name him the Mole. I don't know why, because... I don't think it really references anything unless you think in terms of a spy, like, or something, like you have a mole inside a group. I don't know. That's basically kind of how they kind of refer to a spy sometimes, I think. Actually, I was kind of thinking of that Austin Powers movie where that guy had that, I think he was called the Mole, and he had that giant mole on his face, and like their attention would be immediately drawn to it. It was Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. They were just like, oh, and Mini-Me, they were just blatantly, you know, make it obvious they were staring at it. It was a huge mole, too. That's what I was thinking of at the time when I made that name. Convenient enough. What's funny in black and white too, if you have a lot of repels and your repel wears, I can't talk. When your repel wears off, it'll ask you, do you want to use another repel instead of you having to jump back in the menu screen. Well, I thought that was very convenient. Why couldn't they do that for other things? Also, you can have shaking grass too. Of course, a lot of times it'll be an Audino, which the only thing Audinos serve a real purpose for is they give a bunch of experience points. That's essentially why they exist. No other reason, I would assume. Gotta think of, there's always weird Pokemon that just kinda exist. Like, they're terrible, they have terrible stats and everything. And it's kinda like, well, why are they here? Why are these Pokemon here? Granted, I know you can't have every single Pokemon be like a powerhouse, or I guess have, you know, good defensive stats and all that, but I mean, heck. I mean, what is that one Pokemon I'm thinking this generation that's like terrible? This Audino could be one. Another one called Stunfisk. I think it's what it's called. It's like ground electric, but it just has terrible stats, and I don't know why you would use it. I mean, even in-game. I always think of in-game purpose, not competitive battling. Actually, Stunfisk makes me think of, like... It makes me think of a Dunsparce, just in the way it looks and everything. I'm not particularly fond of Woobats and Swoobats for fighting them anyway. They're just irritating, especially when they evolve, because they have a tendency to use amnesia to buff up their special attack and all that crap. I hate getting confused. I've never been one for competitive battling. I've never tried it. You know, at one point I did try to do all the EV training stuff, but I was like, eh, I just don't care for it. It's too much effort on my part. I'm just lazy, for one, and I don't know. I decided to skip her. I'll fight her off screen. I just don't care for it. Well, it depends on what type of competitive battling you're going for. I mean, you got sometimes certain rules, like a sleep clause, like no sleep-causing moves. Certain Pokemon are banned. It just depends on what thing you're fighting through, or tournament, or whatever. Because you have, like, never used here, underused here, overused here, stuff like that. I think a never used Pokemon would be considered... Well, I guess it would be considered something like a Stunfisk or Dunsparce, I guess. Overused would be considered, I would assume, Garchomp. What are really powerful Pokemon? The ones you always see in competitive battling. I would assume Blissey used to be one. Things like that. You also have certain Pokemon that are banned just because of they're too powerful or too cheap. Like Wobbuffet tends to be banned because, you know, Wobbuffets are essentially cheap. Because you can't switch out against them for the Shadow Tag, and all they do is counter or use Mirror Coat. What else? I suppose Metagross would be considered banned, or it's considered what they call a pseudo-legendary. Pseudo-legendaries are like Pokemon, they aren't legendary, but they kind of have legendary stats, like Metagross, or... Is Dragonite one of those things? I don't know. I know Metagross is one of them. I'm here in well, I can't see the name because he's here. What do you want? Really? Oh, okay, chesto berries. Seriously, you just led me over here to tell me that? I could have found it myself. Yeah, you can find a bunch of... No, not a bunch of. You can find, as far as I know, one fighting type Pokemon in the route to the west of here. At least I'm finally in another town. I'm guessing Cheren City is how I suppose you would pronounce that. But anyway, now that I'm here, I think next time there's not much else to do but take on the gym.